your YouTube Studio Beta Live Control Room sucks. And the date, let's see if it actually goes live. Okay, so finally. Oh, all right, for YouTube. Do we do the dummy? Do we even do the dummy thing of and we're back finally. Okay. Let's cover this. Okay, so this looks like a working, running MacBook. It isn't. It is, but it isn't. The hardware functions. It cannot see the internal SSD to boot from it. It does have Mac already installed on it now. This had gotten liquid damage, and it went from no backlight for the LCD to no backlight for the LCD, no backlight for the keyboard. But still running, you could shine a light through the back and see a picture on the screen. That's fine. That an LCD issue. It was liquid damage on the motherboard, and then that turned into no power whatsoever, no measurable voltage anywhere on the board. Even repairing the one wire circuit on this thing, like to get any power in from the adapter, even hooking up to a power supply, nothing showed as shorting. The one chip that was shorted was like obviously shorted, blown out, was replaced. Still no measurable voltage. Different motherboard was put in that also needed repairs. After doing that, it cannot see the SSD, and how we end up to this type of position where you cannot see an SSD is this motherboard was probably never upgraded past like let's say like maybe what was it? There was Snow Leopard, which was what OS 10 10.6, then Lion, which was 10.7, and Mountain Lion, I think, which was 10.8, OS 10 10.8. It's probably a motherboard that was never upgraded past that point, if it was even out at the time, or maybe a later version like Yosemite. The installed operating system on the internal SSD is a newer version of Mac. After they converted over to the APFS, the Apple file system, whatever it is, Apple file system. I know APFS is a newer thing, and I think, I don't know if it still follows along with the HFS Plus journaled, extended, like the old way they're formatted, but I think the APFS is newer than that. Anyhow, there is a solution if you do swap out a motherboard, and I'm not sure if you could end up in this position. I'm not a pro with Macs. I'm not sure if you could end up in this position if you got a compatible SMC that had only ever been on, that was on a board of OS 10 on, but it makes sense that if you swapped over the SMC and it had never got any of its updates, you may end up in a similar position. It makes sense, but I can't say that that is valid. I don't have experience with that. Anyhow, the solution, you want to boot up into internet recovery. So basically when you turn the computer on, you're going to hit Option Command R all at the same time. That's going to take you to internet recovery. You want to have a USB drive. Now if you have another Mac that you can format it to HFS Plus extended journaled ahead of time, go ahead, that. it just saves you a few steps of going into disk utility and doing it there. Anyhow, you boot up into internet recovery, you're going to recover the computer, but you don't want to recover to the internal SSD if the person's data is on there and you have no way to back it up. You're going to install OS X to a USB drive. If you do the dumb thing and install it to a USB 2.0 drive like this, it's going to take, you're going to be at it for well over a day, I think. I don't know, maybe the drive just has problems. I don't know USB 3 would work any faster, or these USB 3.0 ports. Not bothering to look it up at the moment. Anyhow, so if you swap your motherboard, end up with a flashing question mark, and you know that it can confirm that the SSD has macOS installed on it. There is data, there is the user's account, and all that is there, but it boots to the question mark. There could be logic board problems, yes, but say you order a second or third logic board, you do the repair, and they all boot to the same thing with question mark. Chances are you're getting old boards that were never upgraded to a recent enough version when they made the switch from HFS Plus to APFS for the file system. Install your OS X, whatever the computer wants to. If it's going to do Mavericks or Yosemite or whatever, install that to your USB. You're going to finally, after a long wait of installing and then booting up with the Apple with the progress bar under it, you're going to get to your setup. The setup's going to take a while, and eventually you'll get to a working desktop. I already clicked open the App Store. However, that is doing nothing yet. What is it? Command? Control? Which one gives me a menu? Okay, so the App Store opened. Finally, it's going to be super slow. We are running from USB versus the internal SSD. We'll try and get a Finder window open and see if our SSD is indeed detected. Can we read it when within an operating system, even though it's a new file system format? If you dread the little spinny beach ball or whatever, what do the Mac people call it? Is that a beach ball? That little spinner thing there? Yeah. Everything is going to take an absolute eternity. I wanted to show all this on the camera, but this sadly would not be a good live. It would be an all-day, all-night live stream. We could do a video and do it edited, but we're going to get this fixed and get it out. Boot internet recovery, install whatever version the computer wants to of Mac OS onto the USB drive, get it booted up, do the setup, let it finally boot to the desktop. You're going to go in and start doing updates, installing the updates to the USB drive. At some point, you're going to get an SMC update. And could you troubleshoot all this and install like Mac OS Catalina or whatever, Sierra, High Sierra, and just circumnavigate? I don't know. I've never done it by going to a new one, possibly. This is the way that I've done it. Now let's see if we have time to tackle another problem today. So let's throw the paper there. As you can see, at this point I could possibly clone this installed Mac OS on the USB drive over to a USB 3 drive and hope it works faster. We're going to let it run, do what it does. At this point, I kind of think that even a hard drive plugged in, hard drive over USB 3 would work much better. Hello? Yeah, I don't know your number, sorry. Alright, let's pop up to the higher bench view. Alright, we have another. Wow, we're running out of room here. Get out of the way. We are getting a blue screen with, oh, let's just boot it up and find the error quick while we're thinking of it. Can we get it on the Sony? Yeah, we can kind of see what's going on, and we should be able to eventually see the blue screen error. Okay, so here is our error. Oh, it's going to start up again. We'll get it zoomed in, ready to catch that error. So it's going to prepare automatic repair. Okay, so this thing does have a mechanical hard drive in. Page fault in non-paged area. NTFS sys is what failed. So let's turn it off for the time being. All right. Okay. All right, let's zoom this back out. So we have page fault in non-paged area. What failed? NTFS sys is the problem here. Preparing automatic repair won't work. We're going to try something to see if this will be a solution. What I just made here, and we've done it before. We made a Linux install with Yumi, I think, and Rufus. So however you make your Linux live CD USB installers, go ahead and do that. And we're going to try and boot to this thing. What is the boot options? Oh, we don't want system recovery. What are boot options on a F9? I think F9. Let's try F9. Change boot device order. All right, USB hard drive. Let's go for it. Not going to do it. We have to go into our BIOS, if even accessible, and turn off, what is it going to be, secure boot, UEFI. Or make a new Linux installer. Where is it? Legacy. Legacy support. Let's get that going. Legacy support enabled. Yes. Secure boot is disabled by enabling that back here. Back to F9 to attempt to boot to our USB drive. 6185 plus enter. 6185, enter, F9. USB hard drive, there we go. Okay, time to boot into our Ubuntu. Alright, we are going to not install, we're going to try. Just boot up and see what this nets us. Can we go in and issue a command or so and repair hard drive to get it to boot? Automatic repair won't work. Just because automatic repair does not work does not mean that putting Windows 10 install media in did not do it that way, but this is to explore a different way to fix. I'm going to say it's a common problem, but it's a problem nonetheless. Alright, so we have our Linux install loaded up. We could run this out to a monitor, but why? What's the point? Play with that all the time and it never works anyhow. Alright, brightness is up. One thing we need to make note of is our Windows hard drive. Can we see it? That should be able to tell us. Okay, so dev/sda3 is our Windows drive. Going to open up a terminal. Same thing as your command prompt if you're on Windows. Look like that. And let's try if we do sudo ntfs6 space /dev/sda3. I'm not sure if there's more. Mounting volume, the disk contains an unclean file system. Metadata kept in Windows cache refused to mount. Attempting to correct errors. Okay. Going to empty the journal. Log file, okay. Checking the alternate boot sector, okay. NTFS volume version is 3.1. NTF partition dev/sda3 was processed. I doubt that fixed it, but let's see. We'll exit our terminal. We're going to actually shut down and see. We'll probably still have the same problem, and we'll explore this further tomorrow. Restart. We are going to need to go back into the BIOS to enable. Maybe we don't. Let's see. Maybe we'll get the same blue screen. Explore it further tomorrow. I know booting up Linux Live distribution, doing the sudo ntfs fix on your Windows partition has repaired this error before, but depending on the cause of the error. Okay, so we didn't get a blue screen. We did got preparing automatic repair and now diagnosing your PC. There used to be a blue screen before diagnosing. Diagnosing wouldn't come up. So some progress. Is it gonna try and automatic repair itself right back into the same state that it was? Hey, Happy Mac, wake up. Making you great again. Okay, so let's get the Super Sony back over here. Do you believe it? I do. I believe it every day. Repairing disk errors, this might take over an hour to complete. Now, a lot of people see something, automatic repair, diagnosing, attempting to repair your PC, blah, 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 and they shut it off, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it back on, get frustrated. They just want to get on their computer and over Facebook, games, check email, whatever you do, YouTube. Admit it. Maybe you make quilts, flat earth quilts. That's okay if that's your thing. Whatever you use your computer for, don't turn it off and on when it's trying to fix itself. You like that? Yeah, here, give me a minute, people. I gotta mute. All right. Huh? No, it's not gonna work. That thing's thumping like you got a hard drive gnome in there swinging a mallet. Dude. Yeah, that happens. Man, messed up hardware will show itself with some goofy. It will manifest in weird ways when you have bad hardware. So some of this stuff just takes a while. I think that's what some people just do not. They don't see that. And then some stuff that you have to fix. You got wow, like all we literally have is the little beach ball spinner. That's not even a curse. We just got a spinner. So, what were we trying to do? Open the App Store. Now we're trying to resume from a USB drive. I think what I'm going to do is take this installed version. When we get back to a desktop, shut it down, get on my actual Mac, and clone that installed OS 10, I think Yosemite or Mavericks, which one of those. Clone that install of Mac OS on the USB 2 drive over to a 3 drive, or possibly like my SanDisk Extreme external SSD, something that could work with a little bit quicker speed if the ports are even USB 3 capable. We definitely need some speedier results in fixing this stuff. We have some doozies here. Anyhow, there's not much else I can do at this point. This will continue tomorrow. We'll show the resolution of what happened here. So we went from all this thing would do literally is boot up, attempt preparing automatic repair, go to a blue screen, page fault in non-paged area, failed NTFS sys was that blue screen error, reboot and do it again. No matter how many times it rebooted, that's where it went to. We simply booted up an Ubuntu Live installer. While it's an Ubuntu Live USB, you can install or just boot to the operating system, to Linux, to try it out. Booted it up, open a terminal, sudo space, which is super user do, or sudo space ntfs fix space /dev/sda3 for our Windows partition. Cleared out a little bit of what was in the way of this thing attempting to make repairs. Shut it down to get out of the Linux Live environment, booted it back up, and now it's attempting to repair itself. It may or may not work. The Happy Mac is still beach balling, so we're going to leave that where it is for the time being. Actually, this will probably crash it, but it'll be well worth it. Seems like it's crashing now. Just on the hopes that maybe something did get installed over the internet, we're going to go ahead and pull. We're going to pull our USB drive out and see what happens. So there's our installed Yosemite. We'll power this thing on and see what happens. It was a pretty quick chime, but I don't think we'll get an Apple. All right. There. Told you, no answers here. That's where we're left. However, the SSD that's in here is intact. The file system is intact. If you check it in like disk utility with Mac OS installer, file system can be verified. It doesn't need repaired. You can just verify it. It is there. Everything checks out. When you boot into installed operating system, it's there in Finder. You can see it. What a fun way to fix stuff. Anyhow, we will follow this up tomorrow. To be continued. And we resolved one today. So here is a friend. This is a friend of the shop's computer. He's probably going to get a bill that's triple the normal amount. That's what we do. We charge triple here, if you know us. Right? All the time. Right? But yeah, okay, so previously non-booting. Keep that in mind. You can download Ubuntu for free. You can also download Yumi or Rufus. All Yumi or Rufus is a program that lets you burn different Linux distribution ISO files to a USB flash drive. Booting from USB is much faster than CD or DVD. Try it out. Give it a shot. Create it on Windows or your Linux system if you run Linux. Or Mac. I think there is a version of either Rufus or Yumi for Mac, possibly. If not, you could always use the DD command. There's terminals in all these operating systems. Yeah, we did the NTFS fix within the live Ubuntu, and we're at a working, functioning desktop. So, one thing done. Anyhow, have a good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, whenever you get here now in the future. Enjoy it. If this is your thing and like this mess, tinker and fix and doing, like this, share this, help get it out there. Thank you so much. Thank you as always for clicking that link and coming over, checking it out. This may not be your problem, but somebody might have this problem somewhere. Share it, get it out there to give them a hand. What's tomorrow? Friday? Is tomorrow Friday? All right, train wreck tomorrow. Train wreck on flat Earth. Be here or be square. Or be, what is it? Be there or be square? Here, there, wherever. You know what I'm saying. Thank you. All right, let's get out of here, man. We're ending it. It should end it. If it don't, then I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I didn't do it.